Hi, everybody. Welcome to Immortal Type. I am here to redo the reading from earlier, and the reason why was there was an issue with the audio. We're still ironing out things. It has been a long time. I don't know why I said it hasn't been. It has been a long time since things have been dialed in and streamed live. So we're doing this now, and I feel like everything is finally configured. We had this beautiful reading as well. I revealed the cards and now I unlisted the video because when the audio isn't optimal, it affects the situation for the querent, you being the person receiving this divination. So it says one thing to me. Please take a look at these cards if you find that they resonate with you as the basic motions of the day, with the bottom of the deck being justice. It has occurred, leading to new beginnings with death, the overcoming of, or the defeat of a superior force. You win. Possible new beginning with a love relationship or a partnership. Leaps of faith lead to stable achievements and victory. Stagnancy is a result of something occurring in this current moment where you just have to keep grinding. It will eventually end with the 10 of Wands. There's a hidden treasure somewhere. You need to find it. It comes from working hard, stable assets, and abundance coming. It's on its way. That was the general message, with the sun presiding over this reading, which we're going to keep. The rest of the cards, however, are going to go. Sorry. It was meant to be. I take these things as very clear messages. If my voice isn't sounding the way that I would prefer it to, the message isn't being transmitted in accordance to the way I would like. So we're going to take all of these cards and we're going to shuffle them again. I'm going to do 3 shuffles, and then after 3 shuffles, we will begin drawing cards. I gave an explanation in the other reading how when I split the deck, I like to look at the cards that are there. Here we have death, representing new beginnings. You'll even see that here you have the sun in the distance. I'll show this to you, give you a clear explanation. You see that sun in the distance? Individuals supplicating and asking, please don't bring the end of this. We want it to keep going. And death is like, hey, do you see what happened to me? I don't even have any skin or muscle anymore. I'm just bone. So, sorry. I think this is the fleur-de-lis. It represents this kind of truce, or really you're going to the battlefield and you see that everything's already happened. It's like game over. If you've ever seen Braveheart, it's like when Braveheart throws his sword down in the ground. I think it was after, was it Falkirk? I don't remember. One of those battles where it's a victory when you weren't expecting it. Sword sticking in the ground. Like everything's been said and done. That's what death represents. It's often a very misinterpreted card. People think, oh, does this mean someone's going to die? Well, if you keep thinking it, it'll be just like COVID. Anyway, I mean, COVID's real because we kept thinking about it. Anything that becomes real after you keep thinking about it enough, that's life. Your thoughts are unbelievably powerful. Oh, I love this right here with the 9 of Cups. Guess what we also have today? 9 of Cups. This was the illustration I did just this morning. So I tend to, when I split the deck, I like to look and see what's going on with the cards, what I get with the split. And what I do is I shuffle with these being upside down against right side up so that none of the cards ever come inverse, which is an upside down card. I don't deal with upside down cards in the tarot because it doesn't bring a positive message and you need one. Okay, let's shuffle 3 times. Here's 1. And I'll go through the rest of this process. You know, we had a rehearsal about an hour ago. I went an hour with the broadcast, and that was just a dress rehearsal. Now we have the real deal. Oh, look at this. 8 of Swords, putting your defenses up. That's what it means. I guess that's what I'm doing, putting my defenses up. I'm saying, that's not acceptable. I need to have a perfect recording, or else I'm not happy. Well, okay, that's okay. Perfection's a good thing to strive for, knowing that we already are perfect. Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings, material assets, a lot of money. Anytime you see an ace, it's a new beginning. Oh boy. Okay, cards falling to the ground. That's something that I wasn't prepared for. Look at who we have here. I got more cards on the ground, but you can take a look at these while I'm collecting them and resetting my own energy. When cards fly out of the deck, I usually keep them. So I can't remember if that was the second or third shuffle. Let's just shuffle again. These are interesting cards. Fastest card in the deck is the Chariot. It's a preoccupation with money. This is actually a collaboration. Often people think that this has to do with great loss. It's not. There's so many misinterpretations of the tarot out there that I wish individuals would educate themselves before giving readings. First of all, it's often used as a form of gossip, which is the worst possible thing you could do with the tarot. It's supposed to be an individual, personalized tool. And the only reason why I'm showing you the cards is because they're gold. Otherwise, I wouldn't show them to you. So it's going to bring abundance to you and wish fulfillment based on the color. All of this has intention and purpose. And I want you to know that. I don't do this lightly. I'm creating my own deck of cards right now. I've meticulously illustrated each and every card to where we are now at the 9 of Cups, but I've done the major arcana already, and I've done the Pentacles already, and I'm almost done with the Cups. So it's a major undertaking that I take very seriously. And I'm not here to talk about people's lives or say this must represent someone from my past. I'm not here to entertain ghosts with you. I'm here to make sure that you have breakthroughs in your life so that you live a happy, wish-fulfilled one. And nothing less than that. That said, let's do one more shuffle. I'm not satisfied with cards falling out of the deck, at least 5 of them, not at the beginning of a reading. Just as I say that, the magician's here saying, hey, you sure? You sure you're not okay with that? Because I got some magic on the way. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure about that. Okay, a little history about the tarot. The tarot was originally called the Game of Man, and it's to give you a pathway for your day. These are universal readings, so if you're seeing this now, and it happens to say it's March 22nd, which is today, the message is designed for you to utilize it when it's received. So don't worry about the date that you receive this. It's meant for you now. That's the message. Okay, I'm going to shuffle 3 times again, and I'm going to just focus on the shuffling and nothing else. I'm not the best at multitasking. In fact, multitasking is kind of a myth. There are individual tasks happening quickly, but it's only one task at a time. That's one. I'm still getting better at this, This is victory. Victory right here with the 6 of Wands. Also another victory, so it's some victory going on. 2. And let's get one more for good measure. Then we'll clear the cards. We'll do a quick prayer that it serve the highest good of all involved. Queen of Cups. She's keeping something hidden. See how her cup... I'll show you. I'll just show you right here. See how the cup, this chalice, has a big lid on it? The lid's being kept on something secret. So the secret's being withheld. All secrets are meant to be told. You'll eventually find out what it is. The tarot will reveal it. Someone will make a mistake. That's what usually happens. A lie leads to a lie, leads to another, until everything's revealed. Okay, I don't want to shuffle like this. I want to shuffle like this. One inverse, the other upright. Everything ends up being upright. Okay. Knock, knock, knock. Cards are clear. Anytime you're clearing cards, you want to clear with your dominant hand. So a non-dominant hand holds the cards. Clear it out. You don't necessarily want to put these in the hands of another. This is a personal thing. It's as personal as underwear, folks. Let's see what's going on today. I asked that these messages. This message serve the highest good of all involved. And let's begin the game of life. What messages are in store for us today? Coming in from the beautiful illustrations of Pamela Coleman Smith, also known as Pixie. She preferred to be called Pixie. And she's the original illustrator of these cards. So as we look at this here, she's the original illustrator of the Rider-Waite deck, though you wouldn't know it because she had basically all of her credit removed. And I'm working on changing that. I always say it that way because I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get one more round of shuffle here. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, there's our victory right off the bat. Homecoming victory. It's like you're coming into Rome, you know, after a long journey. Finally, you've made it. Must feel good. Must feel good. Now that you're home and you're safe and good, it's time to do some alchemy, some internal work, working on yourself, being patient with yourself. You're not worrying about things. You know you got a roof over your head, you got food in your belly. If that's not happening, you know how to get it. Ask. Ask anytime you don't have something. A lot of people just don't ask. And the way that you ask is you imagine it being real as you're asking, so that that seed gets placed in the hands of the Creator, this force that's beyond your body. What comes from this alchemic process? Let's see. Yeah, it's the new beginnings. Ace of Wands. Anytime you're dealing with wands, you're dealing with active masculine energy, the divine masculine. And it's a phallus, you know. This is fire energy. It's the fire element. And so the Ace of Wands is here to say, hey, this has already happened. This entire front row. Oh, boy. That was a fun one. Hang on a second. I think everything just went kaput. Just bear with me. That was exciting. Just to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore, I'm going to bring this mouse to the other side. Yeah, speaking of new beginnings, here we are. Yeah, you know. Once again, me trying to multitask, it leads to that. Maybe that's the message for me. Have patience, sir. Yeah, what do we got with the Ace of Wands here? I always consult the Marseille deck. It's an older deck than the Rider-Waite, and it's the deck that taught Pixie a lot about the tarot, in addition to Kabbalah. So I use those two elements as well. I also look at the numerology. I don't go into the numerology too deeply in these instances because it's a lot of knowledge. We're talking, I've got about a decade of knowledge to share with Kabbalah, and it's not going to be covered in an hour. So occasionally I'll talk about numbers, but I'd like to keep it on the surface for the sake of your time, so you can get the messages you need and you can be on your way. Anyway, Ace of Wands, this is creative momentum and it's active sexuality. Like I said, it's fire. And we're moving into that time right now. We're in spring. So spring is bringing this active sexuality. It's happening everywhere, folks. You can't deny it. If you're living in the four seasons in the northern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere. I think New England is heaven. It's definitely heaven in comparison to Mexico. Sorry, Mexico. You know, Mexico's got a lot of beautiful things. Not when you're living in Centro Histórico in a very dangerous area of town and you don't have access to your children. Then that becomes a different reality. New England is much nicer than that. Yeah. The northern hemisphere. Creative momentum, active sexuality, strong impulses, energy and drive, life force, beginning of growth, dispersing one's efforts in different directions. What do you think we're doing here? When's the last time I gave a tarot reading like this? Never. That's good. You're going to want to do things like that, folks. Anything new that you can get your hands on or into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost had one jump out there. Page of Swords. Hey, Page of Swords, how you doing? I know you're watching right now. How do I know that? Well, the Page of Swords is usually an indicator of a spy. It's one of those things that someone can be spying on you at any time, just kind of taking a look at your things, potentially hacking, potentially looking in without you knowing. Look at how the Page of Swords is looking over at the Ace of Wands saying, hey, what are you going to bring in? And you notice how they're looking behind your back? Look at how this hand here, it's facing the left, Page of Swords, looking right there. You don't want to be in this situation, do you, Page of Swords? Perhaps take into consideration the fact that you should ask permission before looking. No, I'm not going to get into gossip, folks. Remember, this has to do with your own self. But it is fun. I'm a storyteller. I'm a writer. It's fun to look into this. And who knows? Someone could actually be looking. I mean, I talk about a lot of controversial things, don't I? I say a lot of controversial things. I am a writer. Okay. Yeah, with the Page of Swords, what this means is you're preparing yourself for a future challenge. Someone's looking at what you're doing. Someone's going to say, hey, why don't you try to put your money where your mouth is and actually do what you say you can do, because I'm seeing things and it doesn't look like it's real. Whatever you're doing, it's impressing someone enough to want to snoop around. You're looking for a compromise between reason and strong desires, and you're hesitating to use your power, so don't hesitate anymore. Or maybe there's a reason for it. Let's get clarification. Last one in this row right now coming through. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has already happened, folks. It's homecoming. 11/11. Congratulations. Victory, being with family, celebration. It could also be a wedding. You're looking at these folks here, and these wands are standing on their own. They're in the ground. They're established. They're already growing. You see sprouts above on the top, right? See those sprouts? It's an indication that there's already growth occurring, even though they're sitting in the sand. So what does that mean? There's some magic going on, right? See these folks in the background, they're partying. They got flowers. They could have just gotten married. Who knows? Very fortuitous. Guess who's not seeing this happen, by the way? Someone who's looking in the wrong direction. Involved in something they shouldn't be. When that happens, victory occurs in another place. And now let's see what's happening in the current moment. This has already happened, folks. It's already happened. So let's see what's going on next. Current moment, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most recent developments have to do with some message coming in from a young person. It's about to happen if it hasn't happened already. The Page of Pentacles is young, inexperienced, could be masculine, feminine figure. When we talk about energies that are active or passive, that's what we're talking about. This is a active energy coming in. The Page of Pentacles is earth energy. It's active, has to do with material wealth. This page is really concerned about what's going on with this material object in their hands, so much that they're not even looking in the distance to see, hey, there's some beautiful pastures going on here. Maybe even a nice garden growing. Wow, there's some woods over here. They're not even paying attention. Look at how much light is in the background, shooting through. We just got a person focusing on material assets because they're young. Anytime you're young, you're probably focused on proving yourself and trying to earn as much as you can. We all go through these motions, especially if we live in Occidental society, in Western society. We're looking to prove ourselves when we're young in that way. That's what's going on right now, in this very moment. And this message could be coming to you, or you could be that person yourself. You have to determine based on your own age. Okay, let's go through. Next card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the result of the Page of Pentacles coming through? It's to say to you, congratulations, you have abundance. This message that's coming from this youthful person is to say, you've earned it. It's here. It's yours. 9 of Pentacles is a very positive card. Once again, it's active. Earth energy has to do with material objects. So material fulfillment is coming in now. I'll give you more clarification coming from the Marseille. Nine of Coins from the Marseille talks about being motivated. So you got motivation. You see that? Motivation, carving out a niche for oneself in an existing system. So wherever you're working, whatever you're doing, you're carving a space for yourself. And it's coming from a place of being totally motivated. You've got ambition. And you're able to endure and offer independent thinking. What this does is it brings you a great harvest later on. So don't worry, it's all here. When we're looking at the 9 of Coins, we're almost at the end of a cycle. The only one left would be the 10. And once you have the 10 of Coins, it's the ending of the cycle. And that's total wish fulfillment. So you're just about there. Now let's get to the center card, which is going to be the most important one in the reading. Okay, let's just let this jump out. I didn't do that. Let's just let this jump out. Oh my God. Wheel of Fortune. What goes around comes around, folks. That's the message here. I'm going to make that the title for my Medium post. And by the way, you should go to immortaltype.medium.com. immortaltype.medium.com. You're going to see this posting, this YouTube video that we are live right now, as well as some scans of this illustration that I did today for the 9 of Cups. And you'll be able to review this as many times as you want and get the meaning for yourself. But wow, the Wheel of Fortune, when it's upright, it indicates abundance. And it also is showing that with every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. And if you look very carefully at this card up close, you'll see that on the wheel itself, you'll have the word tarot spelt. Look at this in clockwise motion, Tarot. There it goes. We go inverse, rotas, R-O-T-A. Oh, it's rota. Sorry, rota. I was thinking of Saturn's square. Rota, that means wheel. Okay, in Latin, it means wheel. And so we're looking at this beautiful representation of energy moving in the direction of bringing you abundance. And these symbols in Hebrew are the symbols of God. So I'm not going to say the name of God in Hebrew because it's disrespectful to try to categorize something that's infinite in a name or any other object. And that's the reason why, especially in Jewish tradition, there's hesitance to say the name of God because it's not real. It doesn't, there has to be symbolism that everyone knows, okay, this points to God, but really nobody knows what it is. It's infinite. We live in a finite body. We live in a transitory body. How can we possibly define that which is infinite? We can only taste it in bits and pieces in our life. And the more that we offer love, the greater we are exposed to this energy. So what goes around comes around, folks. Life is a boomerang. I've been saying that a lot lately. The Wheel of Fortune gives you that reassurance. It's in the center of everything, and it represents abundance. The definition from Marseille is probably the least auspicious of the definitions, but I'll read it to you anyway, just so you can have it. It's number 10 in the major arcana, okay, which is also related to sun energy. Anytime you have a 1, and when I say it's a 1 with 10, when you're doing something with numerology, you're taking the numbers, you add them together, and you reduce them to the smallest number that's less than 10. So with 10, you have 1 plus 0 equals 1, and it's related to the sun energy. See that, number 1? Okay. We've got correlations, folks. Don't we? Of course we do. We've got correlations going on. Why wouldn't that be the case that we have synchronicities? We're dealing with something that's beyond us. That's the game of life, folks. Hopefully I'm convincing you. If not, you're just missing out on the best video game that you could possibly encounter in this life. It's an awesome video game. This is the best game. Okay. La Rueda de Fortuna. The Wheel of Fortune. Change in circumstances and position. It's a rise after a fall, so you've experienced the fall, and now you're rising. It could also represent gambling, putting faith in capricious luck, life cycles, closure of circles, adapting to the routine of everyday life. A hint toward previous incarnations. Ooh. The big message here, folks, is to accept life's ups and downs. Well, let's find out what's happening after this rise after a fall. Message comes in from the Page of Pentacles, says you've got abundance, reassured with the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see what comes from that. It's going to be all gravy, folks. Big party. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good time. Here with the 6 of Coins, 6 of Pentacles, is an individual that's giving alms to the poor. Someone who has riches, opulence, has made it. See that scale of balance right there? It's to say there's more than enough to go around now that I've earned and I'm going to give back. This is a big giving back. This is the same person that you see in the 9 of Cups from today. I'm not joking around. Look at that hat. It's the same one. See how that pinstripe suit? It's the same person saying, hey, you want some money? No problem. I've got so much I can't even spend it if I tried. Awesome. That comes in. That's the result of the Wheel of Fortune. What's the last card after all this beautiful donations are given out to the poor? They are lifted up. What do we get from that? Wish for whatever you want, folks. Here comes the Ace of Pentacles. Man. Any preoccupations with money anymore should no longer be there. We have all the reassurance in the world that your prayers have been answered as far as financial stability. Don't worry. It's the worst thing you should do right now is worry. The answers are there. Just keep plugging away. That's the message. That was the message with the last reading too. Just keep plugging away. The Fool was there saying, hey, keep at it. Now we have the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Coins. It's a good start in material things, folks. Right here, you see it? Good start in material things, financial and physical stability. A practical perspective, a significant sum of money. Utilitarian approach, greed, it could be. Something basic and unsophisticated. Okay, what does that mean? It means when you're starting with something, especially when it's material, you want a strong foundation. That doesn't mean it needs to be complicated. A foundation's actually quite simple, but it's based in something that will never move and never break down and never degrade. That's what you're focusing on right now. So that you can have more and more experiences like the Wheel of Fortune and the ability to give whenever you want to anyone who needs it. That should be the reason why you have money in your life. And this money is a result of service. So if you've been thinking about serving people in some way, now is the time to start doing it. Do not hesitate. Temperance is here. Just so you know, it's a time for alchemy. That's more of an internal process. I'll read it to you. Number 14 in the Major Arcana indicates that this is a form of reconciliation. It could be with yourself. You're making promises. And also it's compromise, right? You're making a promise to yourself that you're going to do some alchemy. Whatever bad feelings you've had, you're going to start replacing them with love. So it's a relaxation of tensions that occurs as a result of you offering love to those in your surroundings. If there was tension before, that's going to be released. Integration of opposites, ability to do the seemingly impossible, a slow process of distillation and improvement, patience, perseverance, self-improvement. The big message coming in here is find the golden mean. Well, what the hell does that mean? The golden mean is the divine mathematics that we find in everything in life. And if you align yourself with the golden mean, you'll find yourself in flow, in the stream of consciousness where anything is possible. You'll see that with the Page of Swords right here. A person is taking a look at things, peering in. You're just peering in at yourself. Have you ever looked at yourself? How long has it been? Something to consider. All right, well, bottom of the deck. What is it going to be today? Who knows? It's the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands acting as the portal for today. That's a difficult word for me to say today. Portal. Yeah. Okay. Well, what does this mean? You're struggling. You were struggling. This was the portal. You're having a hard time right here. See all those adversaries down below trying to take you from your position? Well, that's ended. Good news is He came marching into town, victorious. What did it require? Taking a step back, having some patience, looking into things from a different view. From there, you were granted your wish fulfillment. Someone looking in disbelief at that, while you're already at the place where where you wish to celebrate, and everyone's celebrating. This is a family reunion, and it's a beautiful one. Not necessarily the time to be moving around. Just enjoy where you are and the environment that you're in because it's safe and good. Be grateful for those things. Really, if you haven't been grateful for what you have lately, you should, because it's going to free up these blockages to help you to reach the place where you want to be. Okay, so the Page of Pentacles comes in, gives you the message, says, hey, you've got wish fulfillment now in abundance, and it's coming from a form of collaboration. The Wheel of Fortune says what comes up must come down for those who have been treating you wrong, and now it's time for you to rise. So you do. You end up being the Sphinx right here, sitting on top. As the wheel spins, you find yourself in abundance, and you're giving back, and that's a beautiful thing. I'll give you more definition a stronger definition for this Six of Coins here. I've given you my own interpretation. The Marseille gives a beautiful one. Yeah, the Six of Coins talks about expansion, abundance of resources and possible ways to advance. You're coming in at this with a positive outlook from this success, and it's a good balance between stability and movement. It's a nice balance. And who taught you this balance? It's like you were running on this wheel, doing the log running in the water. You figured out how to do it. As a result, you get some really stable achievements, and now you have the ability to do it over and over again. I think passive income when I see this with Ace of Pentacles. Something's speaking of passive income. It's coming in, if it hasn't already. Okay, well, that wraps it. That was 30 minutes. Not bad. Got through it pretty fast. The other one took an hour. I hope that this has been meaningful for you. Now, if you're coming in at another time other than March 22nd being today, 2022, don't think that the message has been missed. It applies to you in this given moment based on where you are in your life. So enjoy this message for what it is. It's designed to give you hope, peace, and prosperity. And it's supposed to guide you. So whatever these cards mean to you and however you interpret them, that's how you take it. Consult them again as you find a need for clarification. And of course, if you need more clarification than that, you can always leave a comment where this will be posted. If you go to immortaltype.medium.com, or just go to my handle on Medium, which is Immortal Type, Immortal Type, and you'll find me there. Just leave a comment here with the posting of the Nine of Cups. So look for this one right here, Nine of Cups. I'll also post this link in the description so that you can go directly to it. If you have questions, leave a comment there, because by reading and commenting, you support my art as an illustrator and writer, and as a tarot reader and a tarot deck creator. The more energy we put in this in the light of love, the better it's going to be for everyone, and the more people it's going to serve. And that's what I want. That's what this purpose is for. It's to serve people, to love and serve, to no longer bring harm to anyone's life. I brought a lot of harm to my own life over many years, and to others. These reflections of myself, and I'm done with it. I don't entertain it. And when I do, I quickly change it. Like yesterday, sent a message to my brother telling him I'm never speaking with him again. And I shouldn't say that, But we get these feelings at times, and it oscillates. Have you ever seen the tides change in the ocean? Right around the time when the moon's full? Well, that's what's happening right now. And our physical body is the same exact composition of water as the oceans are to the earth. So our composition of water is equal to the earth. It's macro and micro. How could we not be totally affected by that? So we oscillate. Human beings are seasonal. Don't forget it. Don't neglect yourself by thinking you have to be the same way every single day for everybody else. You'll drive yourself crazy that way. Understand that the ups and downs are a natural part of things. What do you think happens in the 4 seasons? What do you think happens in a normal cycle of life? Here's how it works. You've got the seed, goes all the way to harvest, starts over again. These 2 elements right here, represents seed and harvest, and then this begins again. It's just starting over. So cycles occur all the time. Even if you find yourself struggling, guess what? That struggle is going to end, and it already has, because it's in the past. What you felt in this moment when the struggle was most difficult was the most intense feeling that you were supposed to feel regarding the situation. And now that the situation's over, you're no longer supposed to feel it as intensely as it was. One of the major fallacies or problems when it comes to people giving readings of the tarot is to say, hey, you should be on the lookout for these types of things. No, this is the past. If anything feels bad at all, it's the past. So just recognize that in yourself. Anytime that you feel something that feels a little sour or it's not aligned with your happiness, remind yourself that that's illusion and you're not going to entertain it, because we're here to live happy, wish-fulfilled lives. It's a big enough sacrifice to take some divine fragment of ourselves and place it inside a mud body for 100 years. That's a huge sacrifice for the sake of providing more knowledge to God, so that God understands itself. Once again, God can't be defined. It's trying to take something infinite and place it in a finite way. It can't be done. But we're here, aren't we, as human beings, to try to send some form of a message or write the manual that will help us heal these little fragments of the soul so that we can return to the Garden of Eden and live abundant, prosperous lives for eternity. That's what I wish. And so it's okay to wish for these things because there's no cost in doing it. So now's the time to get out your pen and paper, to do your dream boards, to write these things down as if they are manifest. And what I tell people when you're doing your dream board, it's very important to indicate things using the verbs to have and to be in the present tense, and to avoid future and to avoid past. So it's not, I wished I had, or I wish I have, or I need, or I really want. It's not that. What you want to do is say, I have these things, and then you're supposed to feel it. I am in this place, and then you're supposed to feel it. I am this person, and then you're supposed to feel it. And by doing that, you send off this beautiful new seed to the universe to say, this is who I am. I am that. I am. Anytime that you use the word I am, you are using the words of God. They are right here. Those words that I will not say. So anytime that you're accessing I am, you're accessing the word of God, which is an activator. Anything that comes after I am represents a seed that's been planted with the universe, and the universe will respond in turn. Be cognizant of these things. Next time you say I'm sick, catch yourself and say, I am perfect health. I am. Because that's what you want. You didn't come here to live a miserable life or to make life miserable for anyone else, or for the world, for that matter. Entertain the thoughts, feelings, and convictions that serve towards your achievement of wishes, and for your own personal satisfaction, and for the love and service of humanity. Thank you for listening and being here. I'm signing off for now. This is William Vincent Carleton saying, think well, feel well, live well.